Guest Steve, BoroFanTV. I'm outside the Riverside. We've been beaten at home 2-1 by Wolverhampton Wanderers. I have Steve with me. Steve, Besic, Ledbetter and Clayton starting the game in the midfield. How did you feel?
All do the same job, don't they? They all do the same job. Like, are we all missing something? Is it like a big puzzle? They all do the same job. You watched them in the first half and they just followed each other. Clayton burst, it's like bursting the bank, isn't it, when River Tees go over or somewhere. Clayton went out every now and then closed down. But poor Bamford's by himself, all because he's insistent on three midfielders. What did Karanka play in the Premier League that eventually got us going down? Three holding midfielders. It doesn't work. We need a number 10, unfortunately. But take no credit away from that team. Wolves are superb. They let us have a go for half an hour and they went, is that it? Right. 2 goals in 6 minutes. Brilliant team. Superb team. That's why they're going to win the league.
Like you said, you don't look at him the same way I do, Steve, but when you see Traore, our most effective way of getting forward, and their back fours playing it amongst themselves, and Traore stood alongside Shotton and not pressing, you just wonder sometimes.
That frustrated me more than anything. Simply because it was just, why is he there? He's our, fair enough, I'm not the biggest fan of him, I'll admit that, but he's our most explosive player. He's plan A. He is our plan A. Every time we wanted to find a pass to go forward, we looked for him, didn't we? We looked for him. And he stood alongside Shotton. And you're screaming at him to get in the space down the line. They say, poor Matt Doherty, he swapped wings in the end because he didn't want to be stood next to him. That's the fear he gives players. But it was just so frustrating. He was insisting on play. He was more right wing back. We shouldn't have him there. It's too far back. He needs to go forward. That's where he's most effective for us.
Like you say, Bamford up there on his own, and he was getting the odd Pulis ball coming up to him, but it's so ineffective. He's trying to flick it on, but who to?
Exactly, who to? And that comes down to what you first said. Clayton, Ledbetter, Besic.
That exposed us so much in the first half, Steve, because second ball was always a yellow shirt.
Exactly. They knew if they nullified that threat in midfield, them three, it'd isolate our number 9. And even when Asamoah came on, they knew what we were trying to do. Why are we constantly trying to flip the ball over? Why can't we play to feet? What's wrong with playing to feet? We've got 3 midfielders. Fair enough, they are holding midfielders, but they can pass the ball. Let him pass the ball into feet, you know what I mean? They outnumbered, they only had 2 midfielders, didn't they? Wolves in the centre. Yeah. We outnumbered them. We could have passed round them and got the ball into Bamford. But even when Asamoah came on, I mean, you know what I mean? It was just frustrating to watch at times. It really was.
Like you say, moving on to Burton, 3 points is a must now, Steve.
It's massive, isn't it? It's massive. You know what I mean? Pulis, what he needs to do is to get them, just give him a big bear hug. Just say, don't worry about what's just happened there. That's why they're going to win the league. This is where we make our money now. This is where we've got to hit teams as hard as we can. We've got to target teams like Burton Albion. We've got to target teams like Forest, even Sheffield United. You know what I mean? Our next 3 games are winnable games. This was the toughest one of the lot. Fair enough, we got nothing, but we didn't disgrace ourselves. They knew they were in a game. Fair enough, it took 2 men to get sent off to be in that game, but they knew they were in a game.
It hasn't hurt us that much, really, Steve, with results the way they went today, Steve.
Exactly. That's why it's more frustrating for fans. That's why fans are more angry about it, because we had that opportunity to build that gap. I mean, if you look behind us now, fair enough, you've got teams like Bristol City, Sheffield United, Preston, all stumbling. Look at Millwall. Millwall are flying. I'll let you look. See, 3 weeks ago, I backed Millwall to get in the top 6. 18-1 I got. I'm sitting handsomely on my money at the moment because they look our biggest threat. So, when do they come to the Riverside? It's 2028.
Second last game, I think.
Exactly. Our last home game, isn't it? That's the game that will define our season. Fair enough, you've got the games before. You've got your Sheffield United, you've got your Bristol City, you've got Derby. But Millwall is when we find out if we are a top 6 team or not.
Steve, thanks for coming on BoroFanTV.